Hello, welcome. Now that you're here, just pray you'll be able to escape with all your limbs intact. Better hold on to them tight. You might know my name, but we're gonna call me Cammie, a library associate from Cloverdale, for this video. And for this spooky season, or so I'm told, as every day is spooky for me, I'm gonna tell you about the 5 books throughout my storied life that have left the scariest of impressions upon me. Come with me. The first book I'm going to tell you about is called Prom Dress by Langoliers. This book, published in 1989, found its way to me via a garage sale when my flesh prison was approximately 12. After reading it, I told the humans calling themselves my parents that I was never going to prom ever again in my life. Also, it's how I learned that stat was shorthand for immediately, which is a fun fact I've never been able to unlearn. This book follows a cursed dress as it makes its way through the hands of several owners, with tragedy befalling each and every one. It's short, it's sweet, it's deliciously 90s pulp teenage horror, and if you can get your hands on a copy, it's a pretty good time. The next one is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. Yes, there's a movie, but we don't talk about movies in this realm. The book is delightfully creepy, yet also deeply moving. Our main character, Jake, just wants to be closer to his late grandfather, to learn about how he survived World War II. He didn't mean to stumble upon peculiars, much less learn that he's one himself, and I think that the moral of the story is the scariest of all. You don't always get what you want, kids. Plus, there's like 10 pages of creepy photos of the kids, and it doesn't get much better than that. Then there's Coraline by Neil Gaiman. There's something weird about this story wherein children find it amazing and adults are horrified, and I have yet to figure out exactly what it is. I'm on the horrified side considering I'm hundreds of years old, which is saying something considering, where I live. I thought this book would be no sweat when I read it with the child that insisted she was my 12-year-old sister. Hey, it's in the kids section, what could go wrong? Everything. Everything could go wrong. Because, my captive audience, I hadn't seen the movie yet. And I was ready to tap out before we even got to the whole button eyes trapped souls bit. Meanwhile, the 12-year-old was happily reading and I thought I needed to call a priest. In sum total, the titular character, Coraline, is a very brave and clever young girl and an excellent protagonist, and if I ever look at her world again, I might pass out. The Langoliers by Stephen King. This doesn't even rank on anyone's list of scariest Stephen King short stories. I'm very, very aware of that. I have no further explanation other than the first and only time I read this. It scared me so badly that to this day, the mere idea of reading it again sends a chill straight through me. The Langoliers is a short story that involves people waking up on a cross-country flight to find that half the passengers of the plane have vanished. Strike 1. It turns out that to be a combo time travel weird monster thing. Strike 2. There's self-sacrifice involved. Strike 3. I'm out. It was published in one of King's novella collections, 4 Past Midnight, if you'd like to avoid it. And the number 1 book of all time for me is We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson. This book both chilled me to the bone and is one of my favorite books of all time. We Have Always Lived in the Castle is a wild, scary, unbelievable story that has so many twists and turns, you'll still be sorting through them hours after you've finished. Told through 18-year-old Mary Cat's point of view, this novel introduces us to her family, who have been isolated for years after someone murdered the majority of them, and suspicion fell on Mary Cat's sister. A stranger arrives, but can the family trust him? Will anyone listen to Mary Cat? The answer may surprise you, and scare you, and definitely unnerve you. I hope this talk has left you with some shock and awe. I must retreat back into the netherworld. Be free now, and celebrate retaining your lives by checking out a book using our curbside circus. Good night.